y'all, it's Belle. Welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a wrap-up of my recent reads. I don't know if I've ever said this before, but when I do the recent reads, I just put 10 books in them. So every time I have 10 books to show, I do a recent read. First, I have The Nightmare Thief by Nicole, Lesperance, and Source Books had sent me both books, a duology. The other book will be in here too. And like I said in another wrap-up video, I'm not going to say synopsis and wrap-up videos anymore because by the time I've gotten here, for the most part, I've said the synopsis quite a few times or at least once. So this was so imaginative and amazing, and I really realized how much I absolutely love books that have anything to do with dreams. Just, I guess because they have to be so imaginative and full of imagination, so I just love them. And this was amazing, and it continues to prove that to me, that I love that. It was so unique too, and it really makes you think about the power of dreams and nightmares and what the power they could have and the damage they could do in the wrong hands. This is darker at times, upper middle grade, and I loved it. Again, the blend of real life relatable issues mixed with a magical fantasy element so well that I've been loving. Marin's sister being in a coma after a car accident and the guilt she carries, plus the way it affects every aspect of her life. Like, her parents work almost all that time trying to keep up and pay her sister's medical bills. And if she has to go to this long-term facility, it's going to be even more expensive, and it's going to mean her sister's further away too. So a double whammy on that. She feels like her parents never notice her anymore, and because they're just so focused on her sister and what's going on with her and working, and it's just a lot for them. It's just so much sadness and everything without her sister there, and her sister there and healthy. And it's so atmospheric as well with this coastal magical town, and then the magical dream shop with the typewriters. It's just so good. I found all the different kinds of magic that different families could have also so fascinating. And I wouldn't mind if, like, I know this is just a duology, I believe, but if like there was other like spin-off books with new characters from different families, I think that would be pretty cool. And showing the different magic. I absolutely loved how they made dreams and nightmares, like the ingredients and just the whole process. So genius. And there's even a villain with a dastardly plot. She is definitely the darkness of this book. And I loved Marin, who's our main character. And the fact that she was a tap dancer was just such a cool little thing. Like, I just could imagine her and the little anxious thing she does with her feet, like when she gets anxious, but just good. I loved Amos and the complexities of their friendship, and I really enjoyed seeing them find their way back to the special friendship like they used to have, and maybe even stronger after all of this. And Henry is the best though. That's just an amazing little bird. And highly recommend. So good. I read The Sisters of Luna Island by Stacy Hackney, and the author had sent me this. Thank you very much. I think it comes out April 26th. If I'm not right, I'll edit me in here saying when it does come out. Editing bell. Nope, it comes out April 12th, which is soon. So not April 26th, but April 12th. I absolutely loved it. And I have her other book that I thought I had, but I didn't, and so I bought it. So I really want to read it now because this was so phenomenal. So heartwarming. A little heartbreaking at times, but just a magical story full of sisterhood. Once again, middle grade does a great job blending magic with the real life issues mixed into the story. Marigold is dealing with her parents' separation, and in turn her dad being gone and her mom withdrawing from her and her sisters, plus the town being mean to her and her family, shunning them basically, and blaming them for basically anything bad that happens in this town. And she desperately wants to be normal and for the town to like her and her family again, including her female friends who have also shunned her since the event her family's blamed for, the big event. And one girl especially who made me so mad. She puts all her hopes for this on getting the lead in the school play because she loves to like be an actress and sing and all that stuff. And there's just so much on her shoulders. And all she has is her sisters and her best friend Sam, who has stayed by her side no matter what. And Sam is an amazing friend and kid, period. And I loved him so much, and their friendship dynamic. So many intriguing details make out the story, like the town's backstory and all the different magic that the founding families used to have, until it became where only Marigold's families and ancestors had the magic. And also I loved how the magic each member of her family has is different in a way from the other. And then the charms, curse, potions, the effects, diary, more. It's just, this is the second book I've read recently that mentioned maledictions. And I never never heard that before, I don't think. And I think in the first book I just thought it was a made-up word for that story. But hearing it again, so I looked it up. Yep, it's a real word. So I love that. And Marigold's own arrow magic is so fascinating in itself. And just think about how different smells would be having arrow magic and trying to match secrets to smells. Just loved it. Love the magic in this. The core of the story is the special bond sisters can share, though. Marigold loves her sisters more than anyone in the world, and she will do anything to keep them safe. And she shows what real love is and is capable of. The whole mystery aspect of the story was so good, as well as we try to figure out this along with Marigold and Sam. Quite an adventure they have together. And also such an atmospheric read, from this island town, the community, Marigold's house, to even school play, tryouts, rehearsals. Just, oh, so good. Such vivid and amazing writing. Great messages on believing in yourself and being yourself. As long as you're not hurting yourself or others, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. And that same goes for your family and what others think about your family. Be proud of who you are and where you come from. It's just a magical mystery full of adventure, suspense, and sisterhood. And I absolutely love the twist at the end and how it all came together. It's just so good. Oh, I can't wait to get a finished copy. Highly recommend. And then I read the next in the duology, The Dream Spies by Nicole. This was even better than the first book, and I love the first book. Everything was kicked up to the next level. More suspense, mystery, danger, friendship, imagination, and even more dreams, if possible. There's a new, unknown, dastardly villain with an evil plot. We also have a new location, and while this could be a perfect anytime read, I really think this would be a perfect spring, summer read too, even more atmospheric because of the location of where they're at. And the whole concept of this mystery and villain and location was just so good. So creative and intriguing. Just thrilling, fast-paced. I read the last 50-some% in one sitting. I just could not put it down. There was no way. It kept me on the edge of my seat and also kept me guessing. I had no idea what the main evil plot would be or who the mastermind villain would be. It was just so good. I love the twist and I absolutely love the ending. It's another great story that has a theme of sisterhood as well. A suspenseful, thrilling, imaginative, dark fantasy. Highly recommend. Thanks again, Source Books. I love these so much. And then The Troubled Girls of Dragomir Academy by Ursu. And this completed prompt 1 for middle grade March. Read a book with 5 or more words in the title. And this was amazing. Ursu is definitely on her way to becoming a favorite author. I think I have all of her books now. I like to read at least 3 before I say a favorite. And this is like my second, I think, because I read Breadcrumbs. Loved it. So, and there's a simple line in here, but it's like one of the best ever put in a story. Who does the story serve? It's just such a small sentence, but it speaks volumes. It's such an important question, and it'll make you see things in a whole new light. I loved everything about this world, including its backstory, the magic. It's got phenomenal world building too, and the plot was so gripping. And I read the last half in one sitting. The mystery of the school, the words, truth hidden beneath what people were saying, the dread, sorcerers, witches, the words spoken through symbols and needlework and tapestries. Oh, so good. And so much more was just so intriguing. The way they treated girls, women, made me so angry. The way Maria's own family and then the people at this school made her feel about herself. Total manipulation, control, and just plain evil. Like a toxic relationship times 10. Making her and all these girls think that there was something wrong with them. It's just, ooh, made me so mad. I had no idea what was going to happen or how it would end, and I absolutely love that. When everything came to light, I was blown away, and it was done so well. All the puzzle pieces just locked into place beautifully. I really loved the very end too, and what was decided. And stories are so important. Stories written down or told through song, any kind of story. Everyone's story is important and should be told. All are worth saving. This makes you think about all the lost stories that we've never heard. Each has an impact. So just think about how those unsaved stories, or even stories that have been altered for someone else's benefit, so therefore aren't true, how they could change the world, but we'll never know, and that's sad. Women are so powerful and we have so much strength. We get beaten down so much, but we can't let them do that to us. Maria had been beat down mentally and emotionally for so long that she constantly hears the voices over and over in her head telling her what is wrong with her and what she should be like, and it's mostly her mother's voice, and that broke my heart. And then constantly thinking everything is her fault because she has literally been blamed for everything her whole life. She's never had a friend besides a goat, and I love that goat. And it was so beautiful to see her try to form a friendship and the vulnerability and strength she showed. And this is about finding yourself, finding your inner strength, finding friends and family, and standing up for what's right. Maria is an amazing main character. I loved her so much. Her character development throughout the book was so good. You root for her and these girls and urge them on the whole way. Alahna has my heart though. What a fierce young lady. I absolutely loved her. If you're looking for a girl power story, then look no further. This just blew me away. I felt so powerful and important after reading this, and so proud to be a woman. And that's a good book. So I really like, it's a new favorite. I absolutely love this. Highly recommend. And then in my continuing series things I've been doing, I finished a series with this book, the Unmapped Chronicles series, Zeb, Bolt, and Ember Scroll by Elphinstone. Such an incredible ending to such an amazing series. I've had such a great time with all the different characters we meet in each book, because we get new characters each time. Such an adventure. The world building over the course of these books, phenomenal. Such vivid detailing, beautiful writing. I could envision everything in my mind perfectly. I can't say much since this is the last book, but I did love the characters that we meet in this. And it's hard to say if this book or book one has my favorite characters, because I love them both so much. Great messages on strength and asking for help, trust, friendship, hope, more. Snaggle and Mrs. Finkelton have my heart. They're so good. Ugh. I love the ending so much and how everything came together. Such a beautifully told story, very atmospheric, magical adventure. It's full of so much heart. I just recommend the whole series. Absolutely loved. And then I read Sleepwalkers Round 1 by Izzi Breigh. This was so gripping and intriguing, very highly imaginative. Another one that has to do with the dream world. And the whole idea of a whole other world inside the dream world that we know is just incredible. Then how expansive, detailed, and full of vivid imagery it is just phenomenal. I love all the details that make up the dream world, and just the story overall. It's just such as Sleepwalkers, the rounds, all the different beads and what they can do, the strays, snoops, the vox, Jaghounds, Houdinis, the power of names, the mirror pools, so much more. Ellie is a terrific MC, very brave, smart, loyal, resourceful, and determined. She will do anything to save her brother. And some of my heart belongs to Hat though. I already love the beginnings of the friendship they have and can't wait to see how that develops further. I also quite enjoyed Nora's character. She was amazing and I hope we get to see more of her. The rest of my heart belongs to Ghost. I need more of him too though. I hope he's in the next book even more. And this is very atmospheric, and not just in the dream world, but in our own world. It's 1986 to start with, which I love. Then this town, the school, and Ellie's house, which is named the Old Sleep. So good. It has so much adventure, danger, suspense. The journey Ellie goes on is so thrilling and makes for a very fast-paced read. So many twists and turns. I never saw the twist at the end coming, nor saw it ending the way it did. I will say, with how obsessed I am and in love with the book, I hated the last few chapters. I'm good with cliffhangers, but usually there's a little kernel of hope given, or a clue or insight in some way of what's to come in the next book to make it right, so there's something to look forward, like you know what to look for. I don't know how to explain it, but not in this. It's like, okay, the bad guys win, the end. So unsatisfying and infuriating. So I really hope there's not a long wait for book 2. Even with the ending not being my favorite, I would highly recommend this. I loved it. This is out now. It has a different cover. This is an art cover. I keep checking on Amazon because I want a finished cover, but it hasn't been in stock, so I don't know what's going on with that. I know the ebook is, or was. So, but I highly recommend. And then this completed part 2 from Middlebury March. A book with an orphan main character, The Ash House by Angharad Walker. This was a darkly fascinating and creepy read. Loved it. Definitely darker, upper middle grade horror type fantasy. There's a cult type vibe to this one, and definitely gives off those brainwash vibes that you would get with a cult. And I think kids can be creepier than anything in scary movies. So the images of these ash-covered kids talking about nicenesses was very creepy all on its own. Then the shucks, the mystery of so many things at this house. The headmaster, the doctor, just so many thrilling, intriguing, and a lot of the time terrifying aspects. But Dom has my heart. He's such a sweet kid. And I just wanted to give him a big hug and tell him he's cared about and nothing's his fault. It's just another read. I wasn't fully satisfied with the ending though. Just the ending for a couple characters in particular. I loved the last line of the book and hope from there it went where I would want, but I'm not sure. If I knew there would be a sequel, then I wouldn't have as much of an issue with it because I would know there was hope for it to be changed in the next book. But I haven't heard anything and I can't find anything, so I'm guessing standalone. This might be just a me thing and everybody else may love the ending. And it was just for a certain number of characters. Regardless, I would still recommend this because I loved it all except for those last couple chapters and how that particular part did. And I can't wait to see some more from this author in the future. Then I read The Queen's Finishing School, Enchanted Glass. This is the first book. It'll be a series by Joslyne Decker and Tyffany Mandov. They said they made the first book short, so reluctant readers or kids who might not like to read or have a harder time could have an easier time getting into it, but they will get longer. Show the cover or not. This is amazing. I can't wait for the book, for the next book, and for them to get longer, because that's the only thing wrong with this. I want more. But it did pack a lot of story and a lot of punch within these pages, for sure. I'm just so intrigued by this world and all the different characters, including Petur, Lost Boys, Hook, Snow, Goldie, Lord Charming, Ella, Rapunzel. Are we seeing a theme? This is such great humor as well. One name in here had me laughing so hard. Such an empowering read, especially for young girls, and I love the message it sends. Full of adventure, suspense, danger, friendship, so much more. Even with this being a sort of reimagining with the familiar character names I mentioned, this is its own story with its own magic system and plot. The whole idea of this school, the Heptas, and so much more was so intriguing. Oh, and I love that their dresses too. It's genius. When you have to wear a dress when you'd rather not, these are the dresses to wear. Weapon dresses. Amazing characters. I would love to know more about Pell going forward, and I love so far what we saw of him. Caden's brother was also just a sweetheart. And Caden is such a great main character, and even though this is a fantasy, the self-doubt and other feelings she has make her very relatable. You connect with her and the two friends she makes on the journey to the school so quickly. Nora has my heart though. She's so funny and feisty. She's just a rock star. And all three are the best, and I'm obsessed with their growing friendship and bond. And they've quickly become sisters in a way. And for the authors to accomplish all of these things, including how attached you already are, in a short read, is just pure talent. An engaging, magical adventure full of friendship, empowerment, and heart. And I love the ending so much, and the twist in here, and how it was set up for the next book. So excited to see more of the school and continue to learn more. Love a school setting and a good mystery. And so it looks like I'll be even more in love with book 2. And they did say in the comments they had just, that Pell would be in the one I want to see more of in the next book. They had just gotten through, I think, writing a chapter with Pell and the Lost Boys, or are about to write a chapter with the Lost Boys too. So you can never get enough Lost Boys, so I'm happy to hear that too. So very excited. And then I read Bake Believe by Cori Cooper. And this isn't, she did respond to, because I had said I don't know if this is an ARC or an older cover, because a different cover on Amazon is absolutely gorgeous. This is gorgeous by itself, but I like illustrated like characters too, and it's got the main character illustrated on it. Beautiful, and it goes perfectly with the upcoming second book. So if you look this up on Amazon, you'll see the updated cover. But this was so much fun. I love this, and I had the best time. Food and magic in middle grade is always a good time. Even if it's just food by itself, it's a good time. And this was no exception. This is a tween read. The main character is 14. She has a cute crush on a boy, but it's all very innocent and sweet. Just an overall charming and sweet in every way book. The author nailed the high energy that I remember having at that age, which I could really use more of. That would be great. Family life and even the boy craziness that, while obsessed with flirting and boys, is still at that innocent stage and is just adorable. The chapters are named with whatever food is baked in that chapter. But the really amazing thing is that then every chapter ends with the recipe for that baked item. I love that. So needless to say, there's quite a few recipes in here, and I want to try them all, except the pretzel one, because I can't stand pretzels. I don't like salt. Such vividly mouth-watering food descriptions. I just stayed hungry the whole time I was reading this. I also loved her cousin Robin, and I love the fact that she lived right next door and that they were best friends. It's just, I love that dynamic. And they had such a great relationship. And there's so many great messages in here and all done so well. I love the mystery aspect about what this family can do with baking, and as they don't know much themselves. Plus the diary, so good. I love the way it ended, and I'm excited for it. It looks like it's headed in the next book. So excited for that one. And it comes out in May, and I'm very excited. It's also got a beautiful cover that'll match the updated one. Like I said, I'm very excited. Let me just show you what I mean with the recipe thing. See, like chapter 2 is called soft pretzels. And when the chapter ends, you got a recipe for soft pretzels, the ingredients, and the recipe. So good. And then I read the third book in the Pages & Co. series by Anna James, Tilly and the Map of Stories. And the naked hardcover. I'm loving this series so much. I'm having such a good time. Such a cozy read, full of friendship, adventure, and the importance of imagination and stories. I can't say much because this is the third book. Same usual favorites, but we meet some new amazing characters, real and fictional. Milo and Will have my heart in this one. Oh, so good. And the author said I will be seeing a lot more of Milo in the next one, which I just started, so I'm very excited. The danger, action, suspense, and adventure seem to go up another level each book. And I love that. I'm obsessed with the quip in here too. You just have to read it and see, but I love it. That alone is just such atmospheric detail. Every detail of that is just phenomenal, and I just want to go. Tilly and Oscar still make the best duo, and their friendship dynamic just gets better and better. And I'm loving each new thing we learn about book wandering, the underlibraries, book magic, all of it throughout the books. The author keeps the intrigue high, as well as the suspense, while at the same time giving you all the atmospheric cozy feels. And I just love it. Like I said, I just started book 4, and that's the last one currently out. I know the 5th one I think comes out later this year. And if I'm not mistaken, there's going to be 6 total. I'm so sad the 4th one I'm reading now is the last one I have right now to read. I don't want to say goodbye even for a few months. So I'm loving this series, highly recommend it. Definitely a book lover's dream series. Alright y'all, that's it for this video. Did you see any that you want to read that you haven't read? Have you read any of them? And what did you think of them? Are you participating in Middle Grade March too? How are you doing with your prompts? Let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoy the video, and if you would like to subscribe, I would love that if you'd like to. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.